everybody. Hope you guys had lunch. Meet new friends today, and hope you guys had a good time. So my name is Julian. I'm the investment manager / entrepreneur in residence at Red Dot Ventures. So I actually work quite closely with Leslie and Charlie in both evaluating startups, looking after them, and working with them to scale up. Basically. So today my talk would be to how to build a profitable internet business. So before I do that, before I qualify, saying that, I need to say, about a little bit about myself and my experience doing such sort. So about 6 years ago, I started this company called Zopim. I was one of the co-founders. We were one of 4 people who started the company, and it's basically a live chat solution that you can embed on your website to talk and engage with your customers. So till date, we have about 110,000 active business customers. We have about, across the world, we have about 1.5 billion page views per month. Every month we go through about 230 million unique visitors. And one of the cooler things is that we actually been translated to more than 70 other languages. So Myanmese is one of the languages that we translate. So we actually have people in Myanmar using our service. They translated the service. Our main markets are the US. Number 2 is actually in India, because we have a lot of chat agents that use our service to talk to customers. So So basically, as I said, Zopim was founded in 2008. We started very small. I was fresh in school. I didn't know what to do. All I knew is that I didn't want to get a job. That was the number one thing that I knew. I was like, okay, so if you're not going to get a job, what you start a company, right? So me and a couple of friends, we went through many different ideas until we settled on Zopim, and we built it in a very small decrypt office. It's a small container office. It's literally, if you've ever seen those marine sectors where you have those big containers, so we actually worked out on it for 4 years of our lives. So afternoons are very hot, when you're sitting in the container coding away. And then, so basically we built the web tool for e-commerce and website for this. And throughout the process, we made many mistakes. And I think what Leslie said earlier about, if you want to be an entrepreneur, you have to be humble. You have to, be able to learn from your mistakes. And I think that was one of the things that we fortunately, learned through the process. Because you have to be like that in order to get on the next day, to meet your customers and and basically listen to them very carefully. And then through a lot of trial and error, we finally became profitable. So right now we are quite profitable. We have about 40 people in the company, and we now moved away from a container office. It's a nice air-conditioned office in Singapore. So so this is it. This is the current version. So basically, you can actually embed this chat widget on your website, and the moment somebody comes onto your site, you can start talking to them. You can start speaking to them, engaging them, and telling them about your business. Because a lot of and the funny thing is that a lot of our customers, the ones that I feel the most for are those that are in developing countries. Like places like we have customers like in Timbuktu, customers like Timbuktu and near in Kenya and Somalia as well. So and a lot of them we know because they just want to reach out to the rest of the world, and we embed our solutions, and then people come onto the site and you realize that hey, there is someone from the US, someone from Sweden, talking to my site on my site. So we want to talk to the customers, engage the customers, and try to convince them what you're all about, right? At the end of the day, it's all about communication. And so using the live chat software, and our customers were able to understand and talk to the customers. And so because, as I said, we have quite a fair bit of customers who are in development regions, we do give a light version, free to the service, a free service to some of these customers. If you're a charity, of course, we have to do it for free. And so, but it only allows you to have one agent, basically one agent, one concurrent chat at any one time. But then you can actually move on to. But if you're from like a developed nation, or if you have you want to pay for the software, we actually charge about $11.20 per per agent, and so it's kind of like a subscription business. So subscription business is pretty much like a newspaper. Like every month you pay a money charge, and you get to use the software for next month. And yeah, so this is a dashboard. So basically, if you're using software, you can actually look at a profile. You can add instant messaging. You can sync the service to your instant messaging service. Like so, we sync with like MSN, Skype, Yahoo, Google. So pretty much most of the IM networks we cover. And then we also send email reports so that if you're a chat agent, you can actually talk to your customers. So a lot of our Filipino users actually use this to function as chat agents, and then they actually earn a monthly income about $500 to $600 per month just using our software and embedding the software on for their businesses, like businesses in the US, and so they function as chat agents, as like concierge agents for some of them. And so they were able to it's great to see that some of the agents able to earn a living using our software, and so and then to make things easy, we also allow them to have shortcuts. So basically, every time you can actually save greeting messages. You can also help you identify the most likely customer to buy your product or service. So yeah, that's that. So I think doing this business taught me a few things. So I guess and I'd like to share some of you guys. So in order to do well in business, you got to think big, but you need to start small. Start because and throughout our entire lifespan, till now today, we basically function like a rebel army. You're like a rebel because we are from Singapore. The rest of our competitors are in the US. They have a lot of press. They have a lot of reach. But we have to think like a guerrilla army. We have to we have to go and fight with them and not go at the same war plan as them, because we don't have the resources. Neither do we have the reach, or neither do we have the kinds of technologies that is available to us because of the ability for us to pay engineers. And so what we do is that we try to do a lot of tricks, to basically acquire users very, very quickly and profitably. And then and because of the beauty of the internet flattens everything, and so that was how we are able to win the war. So we went from one of the many live chat solutions out there in the market to becoming the dominant one for small and medium businesses. So we're right now in world numbers, we're number 2. The number 1 guy is a listed company in the US. And so yeah, this is some of the things that we learned. So a little bit about the internet, since I'm talking about how to build a profitable internet business. A common misconception for people when you think of the internet is internet means opening a browser or going onto my app store, downloading games and playing games online. The internet is more than that. It's about access. It's about connecting individuals to each individual through HTTP protocol. That was the basis of why the internet was born. When Sir Tim Berners-Lee, the guy who invented the internet, when he built that, he wanted an interconnected world. And his prime vision is to have everything connected to the internet. The internet is just like a network, like something like a central nervous system that we humans have. And so you can actually connect a light bulb. Today we actually have light bulbs that are connected to the internet. You can actually switch on off your internet via your phone. And so this is actually where, in a sense, you're looking at the way the internet is evolving. We're heading. So the internet impacts everything. Impacts the way we get our information, the way that we learn stuff. So in the past, right? If you want to learn something from the library, but now it's available to you almost in an instant, right? And then in terms of commerce, right? In the past, it used to be like you need to go to the store, pay cash, and everything. But because of e-commerce, you are able to scale up your businesses. You do not need to pay rent. Rent is always one of the for mortar stores, for those traditional businesses where you're selling things. Rent is always a very big component of your cost. And if you're setting up an e-commerce store, all you need to do is acquire the users and have delivery, deliver the products and services to the users, and you'll be able to save a lot of money through that. And so the way we see it is that internet means opportunity, because of the access that it gives to you. And I think this is very important for Myanmar because you guys are opening up at a very, very nice time. Like things are getting because of the internet, it flattens everything. You're able to get access to information. There are now online schools available. If you want to learn how to code, it's just get on the internet. You can actually go to sites like Code Academy. You have YouTube. You can actually view tutorials and learn about the things of the world. In the past, you actually need to wait for information to go to libraries before you read it, right? So now it's a very, very interesting time, and we're all moving towards mobile. And so basically what this means is that rather than just having a desktop and link to the internet now is more personal. It impacts your profile. It sees what kind of it can predict. Even it can help you make purchasing decisions based on your personal profile, based on your phone profile, and location profile as well. So and because of that, because the way the internet is now and with the proliferation of the smartphones, there are many different business models available for internet business to be profitable and sustaining. So we have some of the great companies. I'll talk about them later on in the slide, but I just want to go through a few of them for those who are not who really have their minds wrapped around the business models. So in general, for business models that work well on the internet can be segregated into three areas. One is you provide media. That means this would be like a company like YouTube, whereby you actually have streaming media. People consume media, and because of that, the way the revenue comes in is through advertising, is through affiliate networks, and so this is and this accounts for quite a huge piece of the online e-commerce sector. So because you have like people like Google earn about $5 billion a year just from click ads, and it's a lot of money because for them they are actually a global company, and so you have search marketing, you have and so for games for online games, people who buy online games, every year it's about $12.3 billion, and so this is also, and it's a growing piece. So if the game developers, among the bids, if you guys want to create games, this is actually one of the best times to build mobile games. You can create new media. So even, and the funny thing about people is that they think that only English media would sell most. But if you look at YouTube today, right, the one YouTube MTV that is super hot and beat Lady Gaga is Psy, with his Gangnam Style. I think 3/4 of the world you don't even know what he's singing about. All you hear is Gangnam Style. That's probably the only English word. But even though it's Korean, people still view it. People identify themselves with it and do the dance. So I guess language barriers, because of the internet, language barriers are broken down, and even if I do hope that someone who is like Psy will come out of Myanmar and do do a Gangnam Style, right? So yeah, I think media is going to be huge as well. So the other business model that works would be something for like a paid service, something like my business actually functions here. So it's kind of like a subscription model whereby you don't actually download, because in the past people actually download software to like Microsoft Word or like even OpenOffice. You download OpenOffice. But increasingly, people are moving away from downloading software to paying for software that is using the browser. So basically, you have your software available in the browser. So basically, what this means is that it's with you everywhere you go. You're not constrained to just using it in one location, downloading it in one location. And and that's actually where most of software is moving. This model is called the software as a service. And then we also have payments. Payments is going to be huge, and I think even bigger in Myanmar, because you guys are opening up. There's a lot of e-commerce stores coming up. Even through the past day, I've been talking to some of you guys, and I'm very, very heartened to see so many different businesses that's trying to start up. And one of the key challenges to make this business a reality is payments. And so payments for developing countries, places where PayPal has not touched it, is actually a huge challenge. So if someone is able to capture that piece, it's going to be huge because of the scale of growth as well as the number of people that's touched by internet but unable to pay on internet. And then there's of course the other one, which is e-commerce, like selling physical products. You can actually, or a service, you can actually have an e-commerce store or like a Groupon site, or a traditional e-commerce store, and you can actually sell things online, or you can have a marketplace. So marketplace now maybe like some things like eBay, for those who are not familiar, but for marketplaces now the hot thing that's going on is a marketplace for services. So if you can actually, so what you can actually do is that in exchange for money, you can actually do a service. You can develop like sites for people and then get paid online for doing so. And with the rise of the internet and with your internet penetration rates coming up, I think this is going to be huge to help the meme economy. And then of course there's also hardware. Hardware, connect the applications to the internet. It will be like our 3D printer that we invested in. Roger will talk a little bit more about that. So some of the crazy successful internet companies would be like, of course, Facebook, right? So Facebook, when Mark started his business, can I have a show of hands? Anyone watch the Social Network movie? Okay, yeah, cool. See, this is because of the internet, right? You can download, you can see, you can watch the movie, right? And when Mark first started his company, he was just meant as a social network. He actually, he didn't mean it to be like a social network. It was just, the original intention was to have a video version of Hot or Not. So what he wanted to do was, in a university setting, he could see which girl was hotter than the other, and then he could score points on the girl. And he pivoted. See, so it's like what Charlie taught earlier. As you start off with an assumption of what a customer wants, and then you work, incrementally until you reach there. And so Mark started. That was his first iteration, and then he pivoted. He got feedback, and then until it became the Facebook, right? So yeah, if and he's actually away from the power structure of the internet, because most internet companies that we think of today all start off from Silicon Valley, but he started off in the East Coast, in the middle long in Harvard. So because of that, I guess the internet really flattens the world. If beyond just Facebook, you have big social networking sites like Okut, which is big in Brazil and India, and you have in China you have Xiaomi and you have Weibo. So I guess because of all these companies becoming successful and connecting everybody, it's actually a very good time for you to build internet businesses, because in the past, right, you actually have to go and acquire users through emails or whatever it means. But now you have social media marketing. Now, like, let's say if I want to find out someone who is interested in, let's say, PC computing, right? I just need to go find on Facebook what are the groups that are interested in that specific sector that I'm interested in, and then I can acquire customers very profitably from there. So it's actually very cool to do social media marketing because of that. Because you can actually, rather than pay for advertising, you actually acquire customers very, very cheap. And then, of course, another successful internet company would be a company like Google. So Google is actually Google. If you look at Google's goal, Google goal is to make search universal, to make it easily available. So anybody, anywhere can search for information and receive the information almost at a click of a button. And so for them, what they need to do is to find content. And if you look at Google's prime business model, it's still in the form of search advertising. So like if you search online, on the right side, you will see all the ads that's available. And so when you click on the ad, that amount of money, part of the amount of money goes into Google coffers, right? And so advertisers pays Google to put the keywords on that. And so for them, because they make the money that way, they actually have to have a lot of information behind them. And they are probably one of the bigger guys that acquire companies almost on a regular scale. So last year, they made about 35 acquisitions, some from the range of like 30 million to a few hundred million. And then the big guy in at least my space, my area, is Salesforce. So Salesforce, what they do, because software as a service is about $92 billion a year business. And Salesforce is basically this big powerhouse that sells, they have one big software that they sell, which is their Salesforce CRM solution. But they also have an app store with a lot of different applications that work with the CRM solutions. And so for them, their business model is a subscription model like mine. So we do so they collect money every year from the users. And if you look at the app store today, a lot of their more successful app stores providers are actually not built in the US. They are actually from countries like Czechoslovakia. There is one that I know there's email marketing too that's out of Poland. So it's neat, and so they use. So you can actually also use Salesforce to acquire business users if you are selling software as a service kind of applications. So how do you become profitable? Of course, get back to the line of the topic. So assuming you have identified a need, you need to learn how to acquire the users profitably, right? Because if you want to charge them, the amount of money that you take to acquire every user, there is a cost. It need not be a physical cost, it need not be like an advertising cost. Even if you have a salesperson that's out on the ground getting the customer, that is a cost to you. So you need to have an ROI, you need to have a return on investment in order for your business to be profitable. And so it's actually very simple. The cost of acquisition for the customer has to be less than the average revenue per user that you get. So that allows your company to scale and become profitable and to scale. And so assuming you're an internet business, you need to acquire customers from various channels. You need to activate them. That means how do you activate them? How do you turn them from a visitor into a customer? And then you need to retain them, so they keep coming back. They keep buying your stuff. And then when they keep, one of the great things is if they are a long-term customer, they refer your product. So you need to refer your product or your service to other people. And then of course, ka-ching, revenue, get revenue from your users. So I would actually, just to make things a little bit more localized, I'm going to use Best My Myanmar deal. So it's actually, so we met earlier, and I thought he had a very interesting model because it's basically the Groupon model. How many here know heard about Groupon? Okay, so for those, can I show hands? How many here heard about Groupon? Okay, so for those who don't know what Groupon is basically a deal site. I mean, it's a site where merchants where you can go to the site, you can buy something at, let's say, at a crazy discount, like 50% off. But in order for that discount to work, you need to have at least 500 or maybe 1,000 people buying that product at that price. So for something that is $100, if 500 people buy it at $50, you can actually achieve a deal, and then you collect the product, or you activate a coupon with that. And so there's a huge company called Groupon that's in the US that does that. And so basically it's a way for you to acquire, to get customers fairly, very cheaply with your own products. And so my Myanmar deal is basically something like that, but for Myanmar. So basically what happens is that if, let's say, a merchant wants to sell, let's say, a tablet, he'll sell it at half price, he'll list it on my bestmyanmardeal.com site, and then if you as a consumer, you go there, you can actually buy it at half price. And so, but for him to be profitable, he needs to acquire enough users because every customer that comes in has to will cost them. So in order for you to collect your customers, you actually have to first look at the different marketing channels out there to acquire customers. And so, with the prevalence of the internet, there's actually a huge array of services that you can use. And so, some of the things would be like apps and widgets. You can actually, advertise, your product on, let's say, apps or widgets, so people can download. And I think this would be very, very useful for Myanmar because you guys are going to be jumping straight into mobile, and your mobile penetration rates, if all things go as planned, will be quite high. Considering that there's so many people here in Myanmar. And you can also use social networks, like what I mentioned earlier. You can actually use social media marketing to basically acquire users very cheaply. So, I mean, because you're not paying for every user, right? You're using different hacks. You'll be like looking at their profiles, you'll be searching their profiles, you'll be getting them to share their information about you and to raise awareness about yourself until they come onto your site. You can also use search engine marketing. So basically, if you have a site, let's say, if you're bestmyanmardeal.com, and you can actually use certain SEO practices to make yourself searchable on Google. So if, let's say, somebody is looking for a tablet, when he searches for the tablet, rather than the name of the tablet comes out first, Best Myanmar Deal, the specific page will come up, and then you can click on it, you can go onto the site. And then of course you can use PR. PR would be like press release, or you work with bloggers, to talk about your product, talk about your site, talk about, like, for example, if you bought the product on bestmyanmardeal.com, and you have a blog, right, and you write about it, say, hey, I just saved 50% off on Best Myanmar Deal, so that counts as PR as well. And then you can actually have campaigns or contests. You can run campaigns and contests to collect users cheaply. You can also do business development with different businesses if, for example, you're a software as a service business. Sorry. And then you can also do it, advertise on the TV, or do direct marketing, like social marketing, to go and acquire users. So the trick is that for any business to work, this particular piece of the funnel has to be large. You need to have a large enough volume because you're not going to convert everybody. So you need to work backwards. So like for a business to run, right? If you need 500 paying customers a month, you probably need 5 million people to come to your site, for example. And so you need to find, as you're working on the different models, you need to find the lowest cost of among the models. So let's say what you can do is you can set up experiments. Let's say I have $1,000 and I spend it on SEM, or if I spend it on campaigns and contests. And if I get more customers, more paying customers from my campaigns or contests, rather than my SEM, then you know what? Maybe I should spend for next month's campaign. I will spend $2,000. I'll just post all my money and spend it on campaigns and contests because it gives you more customers that way. So that's what we mean by testing out the different channels. So you actually have to test out the channels, and then once you test out the channels, when it comes on your website, for example, I mean, if you're like bestmyanmardeal.com, you need to see which kind of sites, which kind of landing pages will activate customers the most. So you're going to do a lot of landing page A/B testing. You got to look at the activations, how long they come to your sites, how long do they spend on your site, do they bounce from your site, and so as you do the different testing, you find one page that works. So for example, for like Myanmar.com, maybe if his site is all products, let's say they're selling digital products, and the users, the customers that come to your site are all female, then maybe female or people who maybe having digital products is not a good idea. Maybe you should put out fashionable products, you should put out dresses to acquire the users. And then once you activate the customers, you need to retain them, right? So you can actually every month send them, when you collect their email addresses, you send them every month emails or Facebook updates to tell them about, hey, I have a new deal coming out. And then, of course, as they buy a product, even if they don't buy a product, try to get them to refer your product to their friends through other campaigns. We actually run other campaigns on our site. And then, of course, at the end of the day, it's all about revenue as well. So you need to find ways to make your customers pay you. So be it cash on delivery or using traditional e-commerce methods. So I guess for Myanmar, and the rest of Southeast Asia, one of the fastest growing segments on the internet is e-commerce, because we see a lot of activity going there. We have large companies like Rocket Internet coming into Southeast Asia trying to acquire users. And we ourselves, we actually have another e-commerce platform that we invested in. It's a company called Payware, so it basically allows you to sell things easily. So it basically helps you to select innovative items and to sell to your friends. Because if you look at many reports have stated that friends, the thing that causes people to buy is one of the strongest causes is friends' recommendation. So if you recommend things to your friends, you're more likely to buy than if, let's say, the advertiser gives to you like a brochure, right? So I'll invite Damien. Damien will come up and speak a little bit about this company. Okay, thank you very much.